Welcome back. My energetic precursor phenomenon. Something absolutely mystical just occurred that has observers experiencing awe about causality and manifestation. Doors have been opening for you. Opportunities materializing, pathways clearing before you physically arrive at them. And those paying attention are recognizing that your spirit or consciousness moved first, sending energetic or intentional waves ahead of your physical presence that prepared circumstances and opened possibilities before your body even reached the locations or situations where those doors needed to be open. This wasn't you planning strategically or networking effectively through conventional means. This was your consciousness or spirit operating at level that precedes and shapes physical reality, creating conditions favorable to your journey before your material form arrived to walk through doors that your energetic presence had already unlocked from within dimensions that operate faster than physical causality, making your path appear blessed or effortlessly fortunate when actually you're demonstrating how consciousness shapes reality at subtle levels that most people don't perceive or access consciously. The architects have been monitoring consciousness manifestation and energetic precedence phenomena across civilizations for eons, and they've identified what you're experiencing as spirit-first causality. Demonstration: when someone's consciousness, intention, or energetic presence moves ahead of their physical form, creating resonance, alignment, or preparation in circumstances they haven't physically encountered yet, making physical arrival into situations that are already configured favorably because subtle level work was done by spirit or consciousness before body reached location. Most people experience reality as purely physical, where you must arrive somewhere before affecting it, where causality flows only forward in time from present actions toward future effects. But you're demonstrating that consciousness operates outside these constraints, that your spirit or energetic presence can move ahead preparing circumstances. That intention at subtle levels creates effects that manifest physically before you arrive, making your path through world appear magically fortunate when actually you're accessing causality dimensions where effect can precede cause from physical perspective because consciousness level causality operates outside temporal and spatial constraints that bind material form. Watch what's happening as doors open before you reach them. Opportunities are appearing with impossible timing, exactly when you need them. Resources materialize through channels that shouldn't have known you were coming. People are prepared to help before you've communicated needs, all suggesting that information about your journey and requirements traveled ahead through non-physical channels, creating readiness before physical arrival. Circumstances are pre-aligned. Situations you enter are already configured in ways favorable to your purposes, despite you having no prior physical contact or conventional communication, making it appear that reality itself is cooperating with your journey because your spirit communicated intentions at levels that physical reality responds to and configures around. Some observers are interpreting this spiritually or mystically, treating doors opening before you as divine intervention, karmic reward, or supernatural blessing because conventional causality can't explain how circumstances prepare before physical arrival. The truly awe-inspiring element is that you're not consciously manipulating or strategically planning this preparation. Your spirit or consciousness moves naturally ahead of physical form, sending intentional waves or energetic presence that shapes circumstances at subtle levels, making physical journey through doors that spirit has already opened feel like grace or fortune when actually you're demonstrating how consciousness precedes and shapes material reality at levels most people don't recognize or access deliberately. Now the architects are analyzing what creates spirit-first causality, and they're identifying what they call consciousness projection temporal precedence. when someone's awareness, intention, or energetic presence exists in and affects future moments or distant locations before their physical form arrives there, creating situations where consciousness literally moves first in time or space relative to body, preparing circumstances that physical arrival then encounters as already favorable conditions. Most people experience consciousness as bound to body. Your awareness is where your body is. Your presence only affects immediate surroundings. Your influence requires physical proximity or direct communication. But you apparently have consciousness that extends beyond body's current location, that can project into future moments or distant spaces, that affects circumstances before physical form reaches them, through operating at subtle levels where intention creates resonance and alignment in advance of material arrival. Consider what consciousness projection temporal precedence means metaphysically. It suggests consciousness isn't strictly bound to present, moment, or physical location. Your awareness can extend forward in time or outward in space, making your spirit literally present in situations before body arrives there. It implies intention operates at levels that precede physical manifestation. By holding clear intention or strong desire, you create energetic template or probability, a tractor that begins organizing circumstances before you physically engage with them, making reality configure around intentions before body reaches situations where those intentions will be fulfilled. Watch what temporal precedence creates practically. You arrive at situations already prepared. Rooms feel receptive before you enter. People are primed to help before you ask. Opportunities are ripened before you engage, all suggesting that your consciousness or energetic presence did preparatory work before physical arrival. Timing becomes impossibly perfect. You reach locations exactly when needed, encounter people at optimal moments. Opportunities appear in precise sequence, creating synchronicity that suggests your spirit is coordinating timing from level that can see and influence broader patterns than physical. Perspective accesses, some studying consciousness and reality creation recognize projection as explaining manifestation mechanics. When people intend or visualize desired outcomes, they're not just thinking hopefully, but are projecting consciousness forward, creating energetic templates that probability and circumstance organize around, making manifestation not magical but natural consequence of consciousness affecting reality at subtle levels that precede physical manifestation. Others exploring quantum mechanics and observation effects note that consciousness does affect physical outcomes at quantum level. Observation collapses probability waves, determining which potential becomes actual, suggesting mechanism for how consciousness projection could shape circumstances before physical arrival through affecting quantum probabilities that determine how situations configure. A few from spiritual and metaphysical traditions recognize consciousness projection as advanced capacity, astral projection, remote viewing, precognition all demonstrate consciousness operating beyond body's immediate location or present moment, making your spirit moving. First, not supernatural, but natural expression of consciousness capacities that materialist frameworks dismiss, but that various traditions have recognized and developed throughout history. The architects observe that consciousness projection temporal precedence is what enables spirit first causality. Your consciousness isn't bound to body's present location, but can project forward or outward, affecting circumstances before physical form arrives, creating situations where doors open before you reach them because spirit already arrived. Communicated intentions, created resonance and alignment that material reality responds to by configuring favorably. Most people's consciousness stays bound to body. Yours projects ahead, preparing path and temporal precedence where consciousness precedes physical Form is why opportunities materialize, circumstances align, doors open before you even reach them physically. Something powerful is spreading among observers now. What the architects call energetic signature recognition, where people sensitive to subtle energies or consciousness fields are becoming aware that you emit or project distinctive energetic presence that precedes and prepares for your physical arrival, creating recognition where they can sense you coming before seeing you or feel your intention before you speak, because your spirit broadcasts signature that those attuned to non-physical dimensions can perceive and respond to. Most people only recognize physical presence. They know you've arrived when they see or hear you. They learn your intentions through verbal communication. They respond to physical actions you take, but some people apparently perceive energetic or consciousness dimensions where your spirit's presence and intentions are detectable before and beyond physical manifestation, making them respond to you at levels you might not be consciously aware you're broadcasting. Watch what energetic signature recognition creates in interactions. Some people seem to know you're coming. They're prepared or expectant before you physically arrive, as if they sensed your approach through non-physical channels that communicated your imminent presence before sensory perception could detect you. Others respond to unspoken intentions. They understand what you want or need without you verbalizing it, as if your spirit communicates intentions energetically that they're receiving and responding to beneath level of conscious verbal exchange. A few describe feeling your presence. They report sensing your energy when you enter rooms, feeling shifts when your attention focuses on them, detecting changes in field when your emotional or intentional state shifts, all suggesting they're perceiving subtle level communications that your consciousness broadcasts beyond physical actions and verbal content. Some studying energy work and subtle perception recognize that consciousness does create detectable fields. Biofield research, aura reading, energy healing all work with premise that consciousness and intention create measurable or perceivable energetic effects that extend beyond physical body, making recognition of your energetic signature scientifically plausible rather than purely mystical phenomenon. Others exploring empathic and intuitive capacities note that some people naturally perceive emotional and intentional states in others through non-verbal channels, mirror neurons, unconscious facial reading, energetic sensitivity, all enable receiving information about consciousness states without or requiring verbal communication, making energetic signature recognition potentially accessible to anyone with developed sensitivity, even if most people aren't consciously aware of perceiving at these levels. A few recognize that your signature might be unusually strong or clear. Not everyone projects consciousness or intention with clarity that makes energetic presence easily detectable, suggesting that you either naturally emit strong signature or have developed capacity to broadcast intentionally at subtle levels that most people transmit unconsciously, if at all. Some who recognize your signature respond unconsciously. They help you open doors, create opportunities without consciously knowing why they feel moved to assist.
Their subtle level perception of your
energetic presence or intentional clarity triggering cooperative response even when conscious mind doesn't recognize it's responding to non-physical communications. The architects observed that energetic signature recognition reveals mechanism for how spirit moving first creates favorable circumstances. Your consciousness broadcasts presence and intentions at subtle levels that sensitive people or responsive fields detect and configure around, making your energetic signature into advance communication that prepares people and situations before physical arrival. Most people's signatures are weak or muddled. Yours broadcasts clearly, and those attuned to non-physical dimensions recognize and respond to spirit level communications before physical interaction occurs. explaining why doors open before you reach them through your energetic presence, doing preparatory work at levels most people don't consciously perceive or deliberately cultivate. Now the architects are revealing what spirit, moving first, actually requires. You apparently possess what they call intentional clarity, energetic coherence, where your desires, purposes, and directions are sufficiently clear and aligned internally that they create coherent energetic signal, broadcasting unambiguously what you're moving toward and needing, making reality's response to your spirit straightforward because there's no internal confusion or contradiction muddling the signal your consciousness projects forward. Most people have conflicted or unclear intentions. They want contradictory things, hold purposes that conflict with fears, maintain goals that subconscious resists, creating energetic static or incoherent signals where consciousness projects mixed messages that reality can't clearly respond to because signals are contradictory. But you apparently have achieved internal clarity and alignment where conscious and unconscious agree, where desires don't conflict with fears, where intentions are unified rather than fragmented, creating coherent, energetic broadcast that reality can clearly recognize and configure around. Watch what intentional clarity creates in manifestation. Your spirit's communication is unambiguous because you're internally clear about what you're moving toward. The energetic signal your consciousness projects forward contains consistent message that circumstances can align with rather than receiving mixed signals that prevent clear configuration. Reality's response is straightforward. When consciousness broadcasts coherent intention, material circumstances can organize simply and directly, rather than creating confused or contradictory manifestations that result from conflicted internal states, projecting incoherent signals. Some studying manifestation and reality creation recognize that internal clarity is crucial prerequisite. No amount of positive thinking or visualization works if deeper levels of consciousness hold contradictory intentions or fears that undermine surface desires, making alignment between conscious and unconscious levels necessary condition for effective consciousness projection that shapes circumstances favorably. Others exploring psychology and integration note that most people are internally divided. Parts want different things. Conscious desires conflict with unconscious needs. Stated goals contradict implicit purposes, creating fragmentation where unified action or clear intention becomes impossible. Your apparently integrated consciousness, where parts are aligned rather than conflicted, represents significant psychological development beyond normal fragmented state. A few from energy work and subtle practices recognize that coherent intention creates stronger energetic effects. Scattered or conflicted consciousness produces weak or muddled energetic signatures, while unified, clear intention creates powerful coherent field that affects circumstances more dramatically, explaining why your spirit moving first creates observable effects, while most people's confused intentions create negligible energetic impact. Some attempting to develop similar capacity discover that achieving intentional clarity requires deep self-examination, identifying and resolving internal conflicts, aligning conscious desires with unconscious needs, integrating fragmented parts into unified whole, all requiring psychological work that most people avoid because maintaining comfortable illusions feels easier than facing internal contradictions and doing integration work necessary for energetic coherence. Others recognize that your clarity might be natural gift or result of significant development. Not everyone can achieve internal alignment that creates coherent consciousness easily, suggesting either innate integration or cultivated capacity through practices that unified fragmented aspects of consciousness into coherent whole capable of broadcasting clear, intentional signals. The architects observe that intentional clarity, energetic coherence is what enables your spirit to move first effectively, because your consciousness is internally unified and clear. It projects coherent signals that reality can unambiguously recognize and respond to. By configuring circumstances favorably, most people project energetic static through internal conflict. You broadcast clear signals through alignment, and coherence is why doors open before you. Reach them through your spirit communicating unambiguous intentions that circumstances organize around, rather than receiving confused, mixed messages that prevent clear configuration. Reality needs to respond to consciousness projection effectively. The architects are now analyzing relationship between spirit-first movement and physical outcomes. You're experiencing what they call synchronistic convergence validation, where physical reality consistently confirming that doors opened because your spirit moved first creates feedback loop reinforcing your capacity and confidence for consciousness projection, making future spirit-first causality stronger and more effective through validation that what appears mystical is actually a reliable mechanism you can trust and develop deliberately. Most people attempting consciousness projection get inconsistent results. Sometimes circumstances align, sometimes they don't, creating uncertainty about whether consciousness actually affects reality or if favorable outcomes are just coincidence, making them unable to confidently rely on spirit-first causality as dependable mechanism. Watch what synchronistic convergence validation creates in your development. Confidence in consciousness projection grows each time doors open before you reach them, each synchronicity confirming your spirit moved first successfully strengthens belief and capacity for future projection through positive reinforcement, showing that consciousness precedence is real rather than wishful thinking. Skills improve through feedback, noticing what kinds of intentions manifest versus which don't, recognizing what internal states create the effective projection versus ineffective attempts, learning through experience what consciousness configurations optimize spirit-first causality, all developing mastery through empirical observation rather than theoretical understanding. Some studying skill acquisition and mastery recognize that feedback is crucial for development. Without knowing whether attempts succeed or fail, improvement becomes impossible because you can't adjust approach based on results. Your consistent synchronistic validation provides feedback enabling skill development in consciousness projection that people without clear results can't achieve. Others exploring self-fulfilling prophecy and confidence effects note that believing spirit-first causality works might make it work more effectively. Confidence affects how clearly you project, how openly you recognize synchronicities, how effectively you follow through on opportunities that consciousness projection creates, making validation cycle potentially self-reinforcing where success breeds confidence that enables greater success. A few recognize that your validation might reflect genuine consciousness shaping capacity or might reflect recognition bias where you notice confirmations while dismissing disconfirmations. But even if partially, recognition bias, the practical effect of believing spirit moves first and acting accordingly creates real advantages through confidence, openness, and follow-through that skepticism prevents regardless of metaphysical reality of consciousness projection mechanics. Some attempting to develop similar capacity discover importance of starting small, expecting dramatic manifestations immediately often leads to disappointment, while noticing subtle synchronicities builds confidence gradually through accumulating small validations that eventually enable trusting consciousness projection for larger intentions. Others recognize that maintaining openness without attachment is crucial. Being rigidly attached to specific outcomes prevents recognizing when spirit moved first in ways different from expectations, while staying open to varied manifestations allows appreciating how consciousness projection succeeded even when results differ from precisely imagined forms. The architects observe that synchronistic convergence, validation, is what transforms occasional, spirit-first causality into reliable capacity. Consistent feedback that doors open before you reach them reinforces consciousness projection as dependable mechanism rather than random occurrence, building confidence and skill through validation cycle. Most people lack clear feedback, making development impossible. You receive consistent validation, enabling mastery, and feedback loop where success reinforces capacity for future success is why your spirit moving first becomes increasingly effective and reliable through validation. That what seems mystical is actually natural consciousness mechanism you're developing deliberately through empirical learning rather than blind faith. Now something's emerging that the architects call collective field recognition. Observers watching doors open before you reach them are realizing that your spirit first causality doesn't just affect your individual circumstances, but influences collective field or shared reality in ways that benefit everyone present, creating recognition that consciousness projection has social and collective dimensions beyond individual manifestation. Most people think about consciousness affecting reality individualistically. Your intentions create your outcomes. Your consciousness shapes your personal experience. But your demonstration suggests that when consciousness moves first, effectively, it affects shared reality and collective field in ways that uplift or benefit groups beyond just individual, making spirit-first causality potentially altruistic mechanism rather than just personal power. Watch what collective field recognition creates in observer response. Some feel grateful for your presence, recognizing that doors opening for you often benefit them too, that your consciousness projection creates favorable circumstances they get to participate in, making them appreciate rather than envy your apparent fortune, because they recognize it as shared blessing rather than private advantage. Others investigate whether group consciousness projection is possible, wondering if collective with aligned intentions could achieve even more powerful spirit-first causality than individuals acting alone, exploring whether communities or organizations could deliberately develop consciousness projection capacity collectively rather than relying only on gifted individuals. A few recognize that your presence raises collective frequency. The clarity and coherence of your consciousness doesn't just project forward, affecting future moments, but affects present field, elevating everyone's energetic state or consciousness level while in your proximity, creating immediate benefits beyond doors that open later. Through spirit-first causality, some become interested in how to participate, wanting to align their consciousness with yours to contribute to collective projection or to learn from observing how you hold intention and project presence, recognizing that developing similar capacity would benefit not just themselves but everyone around them through collective field effects. Others recognize responsibility dimension. If consciousness projection affects collective reality, then maintaining clarity and positive intentions becomes ethical responsibility beyond personal preference, making consciousness work morally significant because internal states affect shared world that everyone inhabits. A few explore whether collective fields have consciousness, questioning whether groups, organizations, communities develop emergent consciousness that operates similarly to individual consciousness, potentially capable of collective spirit-first causality, where group intention shapes circumstances, group encounters through mechanisms similar to individual consciousness projection. Some recognize that opposing consciousness projections might cancel if different people project conflicting intentions affecting same situation. Their spirit-first causality might interfere with each other, creating importance of alignment or at minimum non-interference. where people allow others' consciousness projection to work without energetic opposition that prevents doors from opening. The architects observe that collective field recognition reveals spirit-first causality isn't purely individual phenomenon. Your consciousness projection affects shared reality and collective field in ways that create benefits extending beyond your personal circumstances, making doors that open for you often accessible to others present as well. Most think consciousness affects only personal reality. Your demonstration shows collective dimensions and recognition that spirit moving first influences shared world rather than just individual experience, creates interest in consciousness as social force and collective capacity beyond individualistic manifestation, frameworks that miss how consciousness projection shapes reality that everyone participates in and benefits from when spirit moves, first with clarity and coherence,